Alright, what's going on, guys? It's Jeff. So I've just been queuing this weekend warfare while it's up with the double XP and everything, just leveling up and doing challenges and stuff as much as I possibly can. So, with Season 5 coming out, we ended up not getting that many adjustments to a lot of different weapons. A lot of people were thinking that the FAL and the Bruin and any other weapon and stuff like that just seems a little bit strong. Everyone kind of assumed that they would be tuned down a little bit, but when Season 5 ended up dropping a few days ago, it turns out that they were saying that, oh, in a future patch we'll end up updating these things. The Bruin will get nerfed, the FAL will likely get adjusted and stuff like that. It's just, the FAL excels far too well in virtually every single area. The fact that a medium to long range-ish rifle can actually have higher DPS close range than most, if not every single other weapon in the game is ridiculous. On top of that, they ended up buffing some of the sniper rifles and marksman rifles and things. Mostly the marksman rifles are the most noticeable thing, but also the FAMAS ended up getting a buff and stuff for its range. Its range is a lot better, but it's still, you know, kind of not that great, but it's better. A lot of these weapons ended up having a lot of range issues, not being able to land all their shots on things, and fall off damage was just really bad. They really buffed them really well. Like the EBR, if they don't actually adjust the EBR and they go and nerf the FAL, I won't be surprised if the EBR kind of takes its place. I don't think it'll excel as well because it is just a more difficult gun to use in general. It's got more recoil. Damage probably won't be as high close range. I don't know if the firing rate is around the same or not. It might be slower. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw some more EBR is all I'm gonna say. Now, although this year I'm not necessarily, I guess, a sniper or quickscoper, I still am. I try to do it as much as possible, but, you know, with me spending most of the year to get over 150, 160,000 kills through basically having my hand tied behind my back and doing things that I don't want to do all year, yeah, I definitely haven't sniped much. Given multiplayer sniping on its own is just a struggle in itself, that they ended up actually fixing the RYTEC AMR. So if you guys didn't know, the RYTEC fires 50 cal bullets, and we've had previous iterations of, you know, the sniper rifles that bear 50 cal on other Call of Duties in multiple occasions. See that the RYTEC AMR, the way that it was kind of seen in comparison to other sniper rifles was, it was kind of like the cheese pick. Like if you ended up in a lobby where they've had a ton of people running around with like bolt actions and you were the one that pulled out the powerful semi-auto, eventually the entire lobby will turn into people using it because you could just fire that much faster. You have a lot of control. And when this gun initially came out firing 50 caliber bullets, okay, and if it's not firing that, it's firing explosive rounds and thermite rounds and all sorts of crazy stuff. So this thing is powerful. It destroys things when it touches them. Those massive bullets in Warzone, when they connected with somebody's skull, was actually not a one-shot kill, okay? The biggest bullets in the game, you hit somebody in the head, and it just won't kill them. And the other sniper rifles and things, they'll down them just fine. They'll kill people, no problem. One bullet, you're dead. Not with the RYTEC. So it turns out that it was actually a bug. But during that time, people figured out that if I headshotted people with the explosive rounds, which by the way, makes your bullet velocity kind of funny, but we'll get to that in a sec, could, however, actually one-shot headshot people if you hit them in the head with the explosive bullet, which already by itself was just, the regular bullet should one-shot headshot you. But what eventually they replied and ended up saying that this would be fixed. It's a bug. And then we ended up having a patch come out where they actually ended up nerfing the RYTEC even more by making it so you could not one-shot headshot people even with the explosive round. That's what was really confusing because they called that a bug. They said that it was a bug that it didn't one-shot headshot, and then they ended up getting rid of the one way that you could one-shot headshot people. So with Season 5 coming out, they made the adjustment now. They fixed it, okay? Now the one-shot headshots, even in Warzone, full-plated armor, if you headshot somebody with full plates, you can kill them and down them with one shot. It's like every other sniper rifle, okay? Originally, it was that whole headshot thing. We got rid of that. Okay, fine. Next up is its overall just mobility and just being able to ADS quickly and all that other stuff. It's just not that fast. On top of it not even being that fast, it also, there's something that goes on with the bullet velocity on this game. I mean, I guess maybe it could make sense that a heavier bullet doesn't travel as quickly, but just make a stronger gun to launch it faster. I just don't get it. I know that sounds really stupid and cringy to say as somebody that has no idea what to do with weapons, but if a rifle can't fire a bullet in the best velocity that it possibly could, why even bother making it? If you need the bullets to be as big and as powerful as they are, why not just make a gun that fills that? Why try to hit me? For two people that were straight up in the open, and he tried to hit me inside. There's that headshot problem. It's mobility overall as far as like ADSing and stuff like that in multiplayer. Most of the sniper rifles in this don't compete very well with their speed. The marksman rifles are better for that kind of scenario. The Kar 98, the MK2, things like that. You can make it work. You can build them faster, but you do it at the cost of aiming stability. Now, here's the thing. That aiming stability isn't much of an issue whenever you go and put all of these, you know, speed attachments on the other sniper rifles. So, for example, when you go over here and you look at this dictator barrel, for example, a loss of bullet velocity, recoil control. Okay, that's fair. All of them do that. Overall bullet velocity by itself, by default, is already slower. So by putting this on, it makes it even worse. But you need it in order to even kind of get close to a competitive ADS speed for running around with it anyway, at least semi-aggressively. But then you go and put on the tac laser, gives you your aiming stability, your ADS speed, your aim walking steadiness. This is the best attachment that you can get for a sniper rifle for quick scoping and stuff, or even just in general. The tac laser is incredible for sniper rifles. Even if people can see that green laser and stuff, it's its upsides are just way better for sniping in particular. Then you got the tac wrap, which its only downside when you bring up the ADS speed anyway is more aiming stability loss. And then you go over to the stipple grip tape, same story. As far as looking at all the other attachments, there is nothing that I can do to actually improve my aiming stability without losing even more speed that I already don't have enough of. So this gun, quickscoping wise, truly is not that great, because overall, the RYTEC AMR has like 2 times the amount of aiming stability issues, the sway and everything. Aiming stability on it is so bad that whenever you go to scope out and scope back in, you no longer even scope in and even close to near dead center. So they fixed the RYTEC AMR, but they didn't really. Like, it's good in multiplayer, don't get me wrong. You can be really consistent with it. You can be faster with it. You can always just take that off and then just go and put on like a VLK or something like that to kind of make it a bit easier to hit shots on people. That's where a lot of my progress ended up coming from. I just used the 3x so I could scope in just a little bit faster, and so my aiming stability isn't so bad. But then it just kind of looks weird and you're running around with like a cannon with like a 3x scope on. It's just kind of funny looking. This is the only way I can really feel like this thing could be competitive. I'm not saying that you can't compete with it. I'm just saying there are just so many better alternatives that there's actually, it baffles me that they even released it, to be honest. I asked for a new sniper rifle and then we got it and it couldn't even one-shot headshot people. And now it can't even just look straight. You guys gave me a cross-eyed Barrett 50 cal. Like, you fixed it, but it's really hard to say that the semi-auto one-shot sniper rifle is somehow not good. But the handling is so terrible that I would rather just never touch it. I would like to try it out in Warzone, you know, just putting, you know, the 7 straight on there, and then putting on the suppressor to get even more range and stuff like that. Default optic will be good and everything. I'd probably build it something like this. It's basically the same one. You know, we always have these 3 attachments on, almost always. These 2 right here hurt the aiming stability, but the thing is, it scopes in so slow. Even though you're not quick scoping with the thing, you could just go and take this stock off and put on like the Mastodon for the aiming stability, or the granulated on top of that to really give this thing some steadiness. I mean, it looks menacing. But even then, apparently, even with these attachments on it that give you more bullet velocity, more control, more everything that you could possibly ask for, it still kind of has a bullet velocity issue. Why us? Why did the snipers get done like this year, man? I hope the R700's good.